and welcome to the Fantasy Football Fix. I am Richard from the Dipsy Dudes, and game week 3 is upon us and things are starting to get interesting. We're starting to see trends forming. We're starting to see a hint of who the informed players are, and we're also starting to see those players who look promising in pre-season look pretty bang average right now. I'm looking at you, Ashley Young and Bojan. Yeah. But before we look at this week's games, let's have a look at week 2's Dream Team. Again, the defenders are leading the way as it's 4-4-2, with 3 of the 4 defenders getting maximum bonus points. The 2 men to be looking at are Dyer and Ivanovic, who have made the Dream Team twice already. Can they go 3 for 3 in week 3? If they keep pushing forward in the way they have been, I say almost certainly yes. I mean, Dyer was being compared to Cafu on one of the BBC live text updates things. Cafu, that's got to mean something, right? In the midfield, we've got Mata, Dyer, which is the way you're supposed to spell it, Eric, and Downing, all getting a goal plus top bonus points. The big surprise package was Chadley of Spurs, who picked up a brace and 2 bonus points. Adebayor is up top after a goal and an assist, and Jovetic is there after a brace against Liverpool, and both players there getting maximum bonus points. Now, I mentioned already that Dyer and Ivanovic have been in the Dream Team twice already, but another element to be looking at is bonus points. Stephen Naismith has got maximum bonus points from both weeks. He's got 6 points in 2 weeks, which is phenomenal. I have a strong feeling that a lot of people who went Bojan for 5.5 as their striker are going to migrate to Naismith. I mean, it's simple enough. He's cheaper, he's in better form, you can make money out of the transfer, and you don't have to move funds around with moving any other players, anyone. You can just do a straight swap, 1 for 1. Is it an easy option? Yes. But does it make it a wrong option? Does it? Does it really? After Naismith, it's Ramsey, Dyer and Ivanovic who have had 5 bonus points in the last 2 weeks. Now, apart from Ramsey, who's been selected by 40% of players in the game, the other 3 players have only been selected anywhere between, 10 and 14%. So if you're looking to gain some ground on your opposition, maybe one of those 3 players, Dyer, Ivanovic and Naismith, is an option for you. So that's the week 2 Dream Team out of the way. Let's look forward now. Let's get to the future. It's game week 3. Let's see where the points are coming from. Newcastle versus Crystal Palace. Newcastle have had 23 shots in 2 league games this season, getting only 4 on target and scoring no goals. They're joint highest on the number of through balls played, them and Arsenal. They're 9th when it comes to crosses, which is okay, and they play 50% of their possession in the midfield. I think the other 25 then is up top, so they're doing a lot of things right, they're just not getting goals. Now, against a vulnerable Crystal Palace side who have to travel to St James's Park, surely the Toon Army have to get off the mark. At the moment, it's them and QPR who haven't scored. I'd say if you have a defender, stick with them, but for Newcastle's midfielders and strikers, this is last chance saloon. You've got a player like Cabela, who's 7.5 million. That money can be spent better elsewhere in your team. So seriously, it's your last chance, Newcastle attackers. Fool me 1 game week, shame on you. Fool me 3 or more game weeks, then bugger off, you're out of my team. Go on, get out. Leicester versus Arsenal. Leicester have had more shots against them in the league so far than any other team, and with Arsenal scoring 4-2, you'd be looking for them to bag more goals and for Leicester to have more shots against them. Apart from Mr. Points himself, the handsome Aaron Ramsey, who's going to get the main points? I mean, Arsenal have seen a lot of success from crosses this year, and you'd think after his headed goal against Everton, Giroud would be full of confidence, but no, bang, he's out. Who's it going to go to now? Sanogo. Will he be able to take advantage from the balls coming in from the wide areas? I'm not convinced, because apart from that pre-season game in the Emirates Cup, he hasn't shown that he can do it. Does that mean Arsenal are going to bring in a striker now when the transfer window ends? That's the actual transfer window, the real one, if you will. Who knows? Maybe they should. Surprised Samuel Eto'o was allowed to go to Everton if they were looking for a short-term striker, mind. Arsenal haven't got enough going for them in this game that I would lump on them, but they've got enough interest for me to stick with the players I've got. So, the moment, it's stick with Arsenal, including defenders. Stick, no twisty yet. No. Stoke versus Man City. This is the obvious lump-on game, with Stoke scoring 1 goal in 2, losing at home to Villa and failing to get more than a point against 10-man Hull. The front players haven't gelled. Crouch, Juve and Bojan, at this point, all they have got is points for appearances. And Bojan got 0 last week because he came on as a sub and got yellow carded. Teams in Stoke's position get taken apart when they go to the Etihad. I mean, Mark Hughes can drill his defenders all he wants. He can get them working as hard as they can, but they're going to get done over here. You know who the big players are for Man City. I don't need to take you through them. Silva, Yaya, Dzeko, Jovetic, Company, etc. Blah, blah, blah. Though surely Aguero's got to start this week, right? I mean, he's scored 2 goals in 2 substitute appearances. He's only played for a collective 30 minutes this season. On the current goals to game ratio, he's on 6 goals a game. But I don't know. Regardless, lump on. Spurs versus Liverpool. Spurs look better than they have done for ages in the game against QPR in game week 2, but this is a bigger test. Pochettino has got his midfield working, which has allowed Chadley and Lamela to finally look like they could live up to that potential that they've always had. Dyer and Rose were overlapping out wide, looking for the big man up top, Adebayor, but Liverpool have only failed to score in 1 in their last 30 games in the Premier League, including their loss to Man City on Monday night. So having Liverpool players in your team should get you goals regardless. So if you pick them right, you should be okay. But we can talk all day about all the players in the game and the form they've shown this season and blah blah blah. But the only player that the media's going to focus on this game week is Mario Balotelli. So let's just ask the question straight away, is he worth putting in your team? Pros are that he knows the league and he should hit the ground running. For Man City, I think he got 20 goals in 53 league appearances, which is alright. But for Milan, he managed to get 26 goals in 43. So the stats show that he has got better as a player, with a career average of just over a goal every other game. The problem is the bollocks that surround him. Camouflage Bentleys, bus steps on the training ground, bus steps on the pitch, trying to put bibs on. It's all been problems for Mario. He's been sent off in the Premier League 3 times in 2.5 seasons. The most Premier League games he's played in a season for Man City is 14, which does not translate well for a potential fantasy football manager. However, last season he made 25 Serie A appearances for Milan, and unlike at Man City, he's got less competition. Chances are he is going to get a position up top, whether it means that Brendan Rodgers plays Balotelli and Sturridge up top, or whether he moves Sturridge out to accommodate a 4-2-3-1 situation. But for me, he's too much of a gamble. I was reading on Twitter, former WWE Intercontinental Champion Wade Barrett, Preston North End supporter, commented saying he was comparing Balotelli as like the modern day Cantona, and I'm not having that. Balotelli ain't no Cantona. I mean, the amount of times between 96 and 97, it was 1-0 Man United, Cantona the goal scorer. I mean, we went on a run where it was like 6 games in 8 or something in like January 96. And he was always Cantona. He took a game by the scruff of the neck and he made his impact. Can Balotelli do that week in, week out? Sure, he can have his moments, but is he going to do it 6 games on the trot, 7 games on the trot, 8 games on the trot? I'm not having it. I don't see it happening, but I may be proven wrong. For a change, might I add. But he's not a player I would get on. Everton versus Chelsea. Everton have conceded 4 goals in 2 games, and the only defenders they have who've got more than 1 point each week are Seamus Coleman and Sylvain Distin, because they got a goal and an assist respectively. The wheels came off against Arsenal. After 75 minutes, they looked shattered. They got knocked out when they were trying to hold on to the ropes, waiting for the bell to ring. Chelsea will be relentless. James McCarthy did a great job on Jack Wilshere last week. He just kept hounding him all the time, putting pressure on him, getting in his face, closing him down. Can he do that against Fabregas? For 90 minutes, is he going to be able to shut down Fabregas from being the creativity in midfield? I would question that. I would question that big time. Chelsea have got almost 40 shots in 2 games in the league, and I don't think they'll be stopped from scoring in this game. Best of the rest. Well, Big Sam got it right away to Crystal Palace last week, with Stuart Downing having one of those weeks that just makes you say, if only he played like that every bloody week, he'd be bloody playing for bloody England, he would. I base my English accent on Christian Bale's in The Prestige. What a bloody good film that is. But I think the man to look at is Zarate. It seems Big Sam is desperate for a big man up top, as if a fella who isn't 6'6" can't win an attacking header. He took his chance well, and he brings something different other than Big Sam's tactic of long ball, nod it down to Kevin Nolan, have a pop from 20 yards. Boring. But I need to see a lot more in the next couple of weeks to make a strong investment in a West Ham player. I questioned Ashley Williams last week as being possibly a little bit too expensive, but I will know my role and shut my mouth. 9 points for a clean sheet and maximum bonus points, and it'll be more of the same this week. Get on the big man and look out for a possible debut of Double F himself, Freddie Fernandes, at the back. Man United still look impotent, despite having a third of their possession in the opposition half and nearly 50% in the midfield in the first 2 games, and they look useless. Useless with it all. I stand by the fact that Rooney is one of the few players worth having, but I must admit, I really should have included Mata on that list, as he has scored 7 in his last 8 league appearances. Though personally, I don't like stats that start in one season and carry on into another one. There's 5 months where nothing happened. So yeah, Rooney and Juan are the only ones that mean anything at Manchester United. I feel like I missed an opportunity there. But what about Angel Delight? Angel Di Maria is here, he's at Old Trafford. Will the midfield improve with him being part of it? I mean, a player of that class can only make things better. The problem that Manchester United have is, in the final third, things look really good. It's the other 2/3 of the pitch that are the problem. I mean, imagine, if you will, you had a desktop computer, a PC, like a big gaming PC. Unbelievable. It's got Xeon processors in it, RAM all over the place, it's got solid state hard drives, it's got awesome. It's absolutely beautiful. Custom made, thousands of pounds worth of technology in that desktop. But you haven't got a monitor. That's what Man United's attack is like at the moment. It is a PC without a monitor. It's all there, there's just nothing connected it so you can see that it's any good. Will Angel Di Maria change that? He's got enough creativity to it, but he's going to be really expensive. For you to make him part of your team, you're going to have to move some money around. Which brings us to our next topic. Wildcarding. People have started playing wildcards. For me, it's way too early. You can be 40 or 50 points back and still rein it in. There's 36 weeks left. There's going to be weeks where there's teams playing double. Come on! The transfer window hasn't even closed. How can you play your wild card if you don't know who's going to be in the game come September 1st? What if Arsenal, desperate for a striker, go and get Falcao? What if Man United finally get Vidal or Daily Blind or any of the billions of players we've been linked with and don't buy? What if Townsend goes to Southampton? What if any number of transfers, big or small, happens? It's madness! It's madness to be playing your wild card. If you've played your wild card already, you're either one of two things. You either can't pick a team to start with, or you're just making a knee-jerk reaction to go with the crowd. Ooh, everyone's got them. Rubbish. Either way, it's a wrong decision. You're wrong. Your philosophy is wrong. You should feel bad for sucking so bad. The Dipsy Dudes Divisional Championship. At the top of the league, it is all change, with Jeebus FC taking top spot, going 12 points clear. Diego Costa grabbing a goal as captain, strong performances through the midfield, and 3 out of 4 clean sheets from the 4 defensive players. The one that I have to point out though of all his team is Juan Mata, 10 points. And I have to officially say out loud, you were right and I was wrong. Rising to second in the league with the same amount of points in game week 2, it is Steers Select 8. A lot of similarities here, especially in the midfield. Lamela, Ramsey, Fabregas, Sigurdsson, Diego Costa coming in there. Sergio Aguero managing to get a bonus point even though he only played for half an hour. Dyer and Bertrand getting good points for him as well. And up to third in the league after a 61-point game week, it's Gavin looking at good performances from his captain Fabregas. Again, a lot of familiar names here. Fabregas, Sigurdsson, Ramsey. Also got Ivanovic in there as well. Good showing from Lloris in goal. Quiet day for the guys up front though. 2 points each. Once again, I am the highest placed Dipsy Dude in the Dipsy Dudes Divisional Championship. I'm up to 8th. If you want to find out where my Dipsy Dudes cohorts Adam and Rob are, you'll find them in 16th and 29th place respectively. And that's about it for this week's show. I'll be back in 2 weeks looking ahead to week 4 because of the international break. Bloody international break, getting in the way of proper football. I'm just getting into the swing of things, ruining my Saturday afternoons. I'm trying to find form here. I'm trying to see which players are going to go into my fantasy team. And you throw in an international weekend. Remember, you can keep up with us on Twitter at Dipsy Dudes, and you can search Facebook for Dipsy Dudes to find our page there. Remember, we do have our own league, the Dipsy Dudes Invitational. All the details are down below there. Just to let you know, we will be closing the league to new entrants after game week 6. So you've got up to game week 6. Once the transfer window closes there, that's it. We're not letting anyone else in after game 6. So get on it if you want to be a part of it. I'd also like to give a shout out as well to the guys at the ifso.co.uk Fantasy Football League forums. Great bunch of guys. They know what they're talking about with fantasy football. So check them out. I'll put a link in the description. Seriously, they are hardcore. But from me, until next time, thank you very much for joining us. Check out the channel for more videos on footballing, gaming, and much, much more really. There's loads on the go. But from me, Richard, good luck with your game week, and we will see you next time. It's game week 3, baby. Come hard or go home.